These are scary challenges that you should never do.
Up first is Charlie Charlie. This challenge allows you to talk to a demon and ask it any questions you want.
People who played this game said it was the scariest thing that they ever done.
And their experience still scares them to this day. Next up is the Kylie Jenner Lip Challenge. This challenge seems very innocent at first,
but it can cause some serious damage to your lips.
So I don't recommend ever doing this. Next up is the Eraser Challenge. All you do for this challenge is get an eraser and rub it vigorously on your skin.
It will then cut you and make you bleed
and cause permanent scars. So if you don't want permanent scars, don't do this challenge.
These are crazy things that are actually legal.
Up first, it is legal to marry your first cousin.
Marrying your first cousin is legal in 19 states,
which is absolutely crazy and pretty weird if you ask me. Up next, it is legal to eat your pet.
I don't know how this is legal, but it is.
And even though you can eat your pet, you cannot sell it. Up next, it is legal in all 50 states to drive barefoot.
I never drove barefoot, but I don't see how this would have much of a difference driving.
But if you never knew this, you do now. Next up, it is actually legal to have a pet giraffe in Florida.
This is such a random thing to be able to do, and I bet people actually have pet giraffes.
So if you want a pet giraffe, just move to Florida.
This is what's happening right now.
Up first, every 2 minutes, somebody gets murdered.
This is extremely scary, and by the time you finish this video,
somebody can be taking their last breath of life. Up next, every 37 seconds, somebody dies from a heart attack.
Knowing that people's lives are being taken every single second
really makes you appreciate yours more. Up next, every 3 minutes, at least 5 kids go missing.
This is extremely sad, and some people are just messed up.
And what's even crazier, over 800,000 children reportedly get missing every single year in the United States.
These are things that we all laugh at but shouldn't.
Up first is when anybody says the planet Uranus.
It's actually really funny that people still laugh at this.
And I think it's just going to be a forever meme. Next up is when somebody stutters. I don't know why, but everybody just instinctively laughs when somebody stutters.
Even though we shouldn't.
But everybody's guilty of this. And if you say you're not, you're lying. Next up is laughing at somebody's funny name.
When somebody's name is funny or just a bit weird, everybody just laughs.
And it has to make the person with that name feel so bad. They didn't even pick their name.
This is what's happening right now, part 2.
Up first, every 3 minutes, 5 people commit suicide.
This is extremely sad and scary.
And also, 1 person commits suicide every single 40 seconds. Up next, every 3 minutes, there are 8 car accidents.
And 3.3 thousand people die every single day
from car accidents. So if you drive, please drive safe. Up next, every single 3 minutes, 12 kids drop out of high school.
But what's even crazier
is that 2.1 million people drop out of high school every single year.
These are crazy things that people predicted for 2021.
Up first, in 1939, Gilbert Rhodey predicted that in 2021, all men would stop shaving completely.
His prediction was obviously wrong, but still, this is a weird prediction to make.
Up next, in 1977, everybody predicted that cash would not be a thing in 2021, and all payments would be electronic.
I mean, people still use cash nowadays,
but paying with a card, Venmo, or PayPal is way easier, and I think they got this prediction right. Next up, in 1966, it was predicted that in 2021, houses would be able to fly, and also relocate themselves.
This prediction is completely wrong, and I wonder why people thought this.
But nonetheless, if this actually did happen, it would be very cool.
This is how long it takes to learn different languages.
Up first is Spanish. Spanish is a very popular language spoken,
and it takes about 575 hours to learn.
But I know a lot of us took this in high school, so we already have some hours underneath our belt. Next up is Italian. Italian is very similar to Spanish,
and it takes 580 hours to learn. Only 5 more hours than Spanish.
So if you speak Italian, you can easily learn Spanish. Next up is French. French is a very difficult language to learn,
But if you want to, it takes about 585 hours to learn.
This is definitely a cool language just to know.
These are crazy things that people predicted for 2021 Part 2.
Up first, in 1969, it was predicted by 2021,
hardly anybody on Earth would be religious anymore. But that's not the case.
People are extremely religious nowadays, even more than they were back then. Up next, in 1967, it was predicted by 2021 that monkeys would be driving humans around.
I don't know who came up with this prediction, but it couldn't be farther from the truth.
They must have been on some things when they made this prediction. Next up, in 1960, it was predicted by 2021 that we would find extraterrestrial life.
But even today, we have yet to find any evidence of extraterrestrial life anywhere in the universe.
But hopefully one day we do.
These are the weirdest things that people enjoy doing.
Up first is popping pimples. 1 out of every 30 people enjoy doing this.
And although it might be satisfying and feel good to pop a pimple,
it's really not good for your skin and it can even leave scars. Next up is eating your own earwax. 1 out of every 10,000 people enjoy doing this.
Which, let's be real, is extremely gross.
I can't imagine how this would be good, nonetheless enjoyable. Up next is pouring milk before cereal. 1 out of every 25 people do this.
Which really isn't weird if you think about it, but it's not the normal way to pour cereal.
I think we can all agree that it's cereal first, then milk.
The Conjuring house is up for sale and you can buy it if you want.
The real-life Conjuring house in Rhode Island is up for sale and could be yours for $1.2 million.
This is the real-life haunted house that inspired the movie The Conjuring and has a very dark past of demonic and paranormal experiences.
The current owners of the house both came out and said that they don't feel safe in this house anymore.
And that they experience paranormal activity and even encounter demonic spirits.
So, do you think this house is going to sell? Or do you think it's going to stay empty forever?
This man was stabbed through his brain and he still survived.
In 1998, a man named Michael Hill was stabbed in the brain while answering the door at his friend's house.
The crazy part is all of his functions and conscience was healed within a week.
But the knife did cause permanent damage to his memory, which is honestly the only bad side effect.
To this day, this was the largest object ever removed from a human brain.
The fact that this man did not die from this is a complete miracle. Just look how far down that knife goes.
These are pictures with horrifying backstories, part 1.
Up first is a picture of a bunch of Jewish children holding hands as they unknowingly walk to their deaths in the gas chambers at Auschwitz.
This is just completely messed up.
And I still can't believe that this happened. Next up is a picture of 3 girls just taking a selfie and having fun. But if you look behind them, you can see the light of a train coming right at them.
All the girls got hit by the train and died.
This was the last photo ever taken of them. Next up is a picture of a mountain, but if you look closely, you can see 2 trails. Kurt Diemberger and Herman Buell were walking together when Herman Buell broke off from the original trail. He then fell off the cliff and got trapped in ice, where his body remains to this day.
This man woke up with a headache and you won't believe what it was from.
This is Michael Mullen, and one morning he woke up with a severely painful headache.
He had no idea what it was from until his wife admitted
that she shot him in the head while he was sleeping. She claimed it to be an accident, but it obviously wasn't.
Michael actually had a bullet lodged in his head that was causing the severe pain.
Just imagine going to bed and then waking up with a bullet in your head from your wife trying to kill you in your sleep. Some people are just honestly crazy.